Over the past 3 decades, China has transformed from a reclusive nation into a global economic powerhouse. Alongside this rise, China has emerged as a leading figure in international development finance, particularly in Africa. Beijing has funded new multilateral development banks and extended loans to countries that traditional lenders have often overlooked. Former US Secretary of State Rex Tillerson accused China of predatory loan practices, suggesting that Beijing's approach undermines African sovereignty and economic stability. Similarly, US Secretary of Treasury Janet Yellen expressed concerns about countries becoming trapped in debt due to China's activities. These allegations echo the term debt trap diplomacy, coined by Indian commentator Brahma Cheleni in 2017. He claimed that China deliberately entices developing countries into taking on burdensome loans, aiming to extract concessions like control over critical assets and resources. This narrative quickly gained traction among policymakers and media outlets as supposed evidence of China's neocolonial ambitions. When we scrutinize the facts, however, the debt trap narrative doesn't seem to hold up. Several studies have investigated China's lending practices and have found the following. First of all, China's loans have not been found to induce debt distress. Research from the China-Africa Research Initiative, CARI, at Johns Hopkins University in the US shows that between 2000 and 2017, China lent African countries approximately $146 billion. Importantly, none of the over 1,000 loans recorded were found to be examples of China deliberately inducing debt distress. Secondly, China owns a relatively small proportion of Africa's debt load. In countries identified as being in debt distress, Chinese loans constituted on average only 15% of their total external debt. The majority of these countries' debt is owed to multilateral institutions and private creditors, not China. Thirdly, China has not seized African assets due to unpaid loans. The Rhodium Group analyzed 40 cases of Chinese debt renegotiations and found that asset seizures are extremely rare and not a standard practice. In most cases, China has shown a willingness to restructure or forgive debt rather than seize assets. A recent example in Africa involves Uganda's Entebbe International Airport. Speculations arose in foreign media that China would seize control of the airport after Uganda failed to repay loans for its expansion. However, the Chinese embassy in Uganda refuted these claims, stating that no project in Africa has ever been seized by China because of an inability to repay loans. The loan contract for the airport's reconstruction, finalized in March 2015 with a $200 million loan from the Export-Import Bank of China, adheres to international financing rules with no hidden terms or political conditions attached. The project has progressed smoothly and the airport was expected to be delivered by the end of 2022. Another aspect of the debt trap narrative is the claim that China uses loans to secure natural resources from developing countries. While it's true that some Chinese loans are secured by commodities like oil or minerals, this practice aims to reduce lending risks, not to expropriate resources. Repayment is made through the profits from selling these commodities at market prices. Critics often portray China's Belt and Road Initiative as a strategic tool for debt trap diplomacy. However, evidence suggests that the initiative is primarily an economic project. The initiative helps China export its surplus industrial capacity and sustain economic growth by building infrastructure abroad. Many of the Belt and Road Initiative's projects are initiated at the request of host countries and are tailored to their development needs. Financing for the projects increasingly involves international financial hubs and private investors, not just Chinese state funds. When we delve into the data and specific cases, the narrative of China engaging in debt trap diplomacy lacks substantial evidence. China's lending practices are complex and multifaceted, but the claims of international debt entrapment for strategic gain are not supported by the facts. Hey, if you like that video, click somewhere to the right of your screen to watch the full unfiltered version. All the best and thank you.